Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskircham Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Badhreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavdinaistige Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. Today we will read from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 44, The Killing of Kamsa. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam Charchitah Sankalpo Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Asasadata Chanuram Mustikam Rohini Sutaha. Shukadeva Goswami said, thus addressed, Lord Krishna made up his mind to accept the challenge. He paired off with Chanura and Balarama with Mustika. Hastabhyam hastayor badhva padbhyam eva cha padayoh vichakshasatur anyonyam prasahya vijigishaya. Seizing each other's hands and locking legs with each other, the opponents struggled powerfully, eager for victory. Aratnitve aratnibhyam janubhyam chaiva januni shirah shirshnorasarostav anyonyam abhijagnatuhu. They each struck fists against fists, knees against knees, head against head, and chest against chest. Paribhramana vikshepa parirambhavapatanaihi utsara utsarpanapasarpanais chanyonyam pratyarundatam. Each fighter contended with his opponent by dragging him again about in circles, shoving and crushing him, throwing him down and running before and behind him. उत्थापनैर् उन्नयनैश्चालनैः स्थापनैरपि परस्परं जिगीषन्ताव अपचक्रतुर् आत्मनः. Forcefully lifting and carrying each other, pushing each other away, and holding each other down, the fighters hurt even their own bodies in their great eagerness for victory. Tad bala bavala sorry. Yeah. Tad balavad yuddham sametaha sarvayoshitaha uchu parasparam rajan sanukampa varutasaha. My dear king, all the women present, considering the match an unfair fight between the strong and the weak, felt extremely anxiety due to compassion. They assembled in groups around the arena and spoke to one another as follows. Maha ayambata dharma esham rajasabhasadam ye bala balavad yuddham ragnon vichanti pasyataha. The woman said, alas, what a greatly irreligious act the members of this royal assembly are committing. As the king watches this fight between the strong and the weak, they also want to see it. Kvavajra sarasarvango mallo sailendra sannibho kva chapi sukumarango kishoro napta yovano. What comparison can there be between these two professional wrestlers with limbs as strong as lightning bolts and bodies resembling mighty mountains, and these two young, immature boys with exceedingly tender limbs? धर्मव्यक्तिक्रमो हे अस्य समाजस्य ध्रुवं भवेत् अत्र धर्मसमुत्तिष्ठेन् न स्थेयं तत्र कर्हि चेत्. Religious principles have certainly been violated in this assembly. One should not remain for even a moment in a place where irreligion is flourishing. न सभां प्रविशेत् प्राज्ञः सभ्यदोषाम् अनुस्मरन् अब्रुवन् विभ्रमन् अन्यो Narah kilbisham asnute. A wise person should not enter an assembly if he knows the participants there are committing acts of impropriety, and if, having entered such an assembly, he fails to speak the truth, speaks falsely, or pleads ignorance, he will certainly incur sin. वल्गतः शत्रुम् अभितः कृष्णस्य वदनाम्बुजं वीक्षयतां श्रमवारे उक्तं पद्मकोशम् इवाम्बुभिः. Just see the lotus face of Krishna as he darts around his foe. That force, covered with drops of perspiration brought on by the strenuous fight, resembles a lotus covered with dew. किं न पश्यत रामस्य मुखम् आत्मा sorry किं किं न पश्यत रामस्य मुखम् आताम्रलोचनं मुष्टिकं प्रति सामर्श्यं हाससंरम्भ शोभितं. Don't you see the face of Lord Balaram with its eyes copper red from his anger toward Mustika and its beauty enhanced by his laughter and his absorption in the fight? पुण्याबत व्रजभुव यद् अयं नृलिङ्ग गूढः पुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमाल्य गाः पालयन् सबबलः क्वणयंश्च वेणुं विक्रीडयाञ्चति गिरित्ररमार्चिताङ्घ्रिः. How pious are the tracts of land in Vraja, for there the primeval personality of Godhead, distinguishing himself with human traits, wanders about, enacting his many pastimes, adorned with wonderfully variegated forest garlands. He whose feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and Goddess Rama vibrates his flute as he tends the cows in the company of Balarama. गोप्यस्तपः किम् अचरन् यदमुष्य रूपं लावण्यसारम् असमोर्ध्वम् अनन्यसिद्धं दृग्भिः पिबति अनुसवाभिवमन् दुरापम् एकान्तधर्म यशसो श्रिय ऐश्वर्यस्य. What austerities must the gopis have performed! With their eyes they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equalled or surpassed. That form is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, even fresh and extremely rare. यो दोहने वहनने मथनोपलेप प्रेन्खेन्कराम्भ रुदितोक्ष्ण मार्जनादो गायन्ति चैनम् अनुरक्तदियोश्रुकण्ठ्यो धन्या व्रजस्त्रिय उरुक्रमचित्तयानाः. The ladies of Vraja are the most fortunate of women because, with their minds fully attached to Krishna and their throats always choked up with tears, they constantly sing about him while milking the cows, winnowing grain, churning butter, gathering cow dung for fuel, riding on swings, taking care of their crying babies, sprinkling the ground with water, cleaning their houses, and so on. By their exalted Krishna consciousness, they automatically acquire all desirable things. प्रातर्व्रजाद् व्रजतः विशसदश्च सायं गोभिः समं क्वणयतोऽस्य निशम्य वेणुं निर्गम्य तूर्णम् अबलाः पतिः पूरिपुण्याः पश्यन्ति सस्मितमुखं स दयावलोकम्. When the gopis hear Krishna playing his flute as he leaves Vraja in the morning with his cows or returns with them at sunset, The young girls quickly come out of their houses to see him. They must have performed many pious activities to be able to see him as he walks on the road, his smiling face mercifully glancing upon them. एवं प्रभाषमानासु श्रीषु योगेश्वरो हरिः शत्रुं हन्तुं मनश्चक्रे भगवान् भरतर्षभः. Shukadeva Goswami continued, as the women spoke thus, O hero of the Bharatas, Lord Krishna, the master of all mystic power, made up his mind to kill his opponent. Sabhaya गिरः श्रुत्वा पुत्रस्नेह सुचातुरौ पितरौ अन्वतप्येतां पुत्रयोर Abudau Balam. Out of affection for the two lords, their parents Devaki and Vasudeva became overwhelmed with sorrow when they heard the woman's fearful statements. They grieved, not knowing their son's strength. तस्तेर् तस्तेर्नियुद्धविधिभिर् विविधैर् अच्युतेतरौ युयुधाते यथान्यन्यं तथैव बलमुष्टिकौ. Lord Balarama and Mustika, expertly displaying numerous wrestling techniques, battled each other in the same way that Lord Krishna and his opponent did. भगवद्गातनिष्पातैर्वज्र निक्षेष निष्ठुरैः चाणूरो भज्यमानाङ्गो मुहुर्ग्लानिम् अवापः. The harsh blows from the Supreme Lord's limbs fell like crushing lightning bolts upon Chanura, breaking every part of his body and causing him more and more pain and fatigue. स श्येन वेग उत्पत्य मुष्टीकृत्य कराव उभौ भगवन्तं वासुदेवं क्रुद्धो वक्षसि अबाधत. Furious Chanura attacked Lord Vasudeva with the speed of a hawk and struck his chest with both fists. नाचलत्तत्प्रहारेण मालाहत इव द्विपः बाहोर्निगृह्य चाणूरं बहुशो भ्रामयन् हरिः भूपृष्ठे पोतयामास तरसा क्षीणजीवितं विस्पृष्टाकल्पकेशसृग् इन्द्रध्वज इवापतत्. No more shaken by the demon's mighty blows than an elephant struck with a flower garland, Lord Krishna grabbed Chanura by his arms, swung him around several times, and hurled him onto the ground with great force. His clothes, hair, and garland scattering, the wrestler fell down dead like a huge festival column collapsing. तथैव मुष्टिकः पूर्वं स्वमुष्ट्याभिहतेन वै बलभद्रेण बलिना तलेनाभिहतो वृषं प्रवेपितः स रुधिरम् उद्भमन् मुखटो रुदितः व्यसुः पपातरो उपस्थे वाताहत इवाङ्घ्रिपः. Similarly, Mustika struck Lord Balaram with his fist and was slain. Receiving a violent blow from the mighty Lord's palm, the demon trembled all over in great pain, vomited blood, and then fell lifeless onto the ground like a tree blown down by the wind. ततः कूटम् अनुप्राप्त रामं प्रहरतां वरः अवधीलीलया राजन् सावज्ञं वाममुष्टिना. Confronted next by the wrestlers, Kuta, Lord Balarama, the best of the fighters, playfully and nonchalantly killed him with his left fist, O king. तर्हि एव हि सलः कृष्ण प्रपदाहत शीर्षकः द्विधा विदीर्ण तोषलक उभाव अपि निपेततुः. Then Krishna kicked in Shala's head and tore Toshala in half, and both wrestlers fell down dead. चाणूरे मुष्टिके कूटे सले तो सलके हते शेषः प्रदुर्ध्रुवोर्मल्लाः सर्वे प्राणपरीप्सवः. Chanura, Mustika, Kuta, Sala, and Toshala, having been killed, the remaining wrestlers all fled for their lives. Okay, then we'll stop with this last verse. Gopa Vayasyan Akrishya Tai Samsrajya Vijihratuhu Vadyamaneshu Turyeshu Valgantu Ruta Nupurao. Krishna and Balaram then called their young cowherd boys friends to join them, and in their company the Lord danced about and sported. The ankle bells resounded as musical instruments played. Hare Krishna. So, as we are gearing up to the killing of Kamsa, here we can see that, yeah, Kamsa, if it was only one person to be killed, that wouldn't have revealed the greatness of the Lord. So, here there is this Chanur and Mushtik who were at that time well known wrestlers, and they never saw defeat from anyone. So, in that, we can see this wrestlers, Chanur and Mushtik, they decided to kill Krishna, and Krishna also accepted the challenge. This goes that, I'm just, okay. So, this wrestlers and Kamsa are defeated in this chapter, and today we will focus on killing of the wrestlers only. So, um, Krishna and Balram, the wives of Kamsa are consoled, and Krishna. This is the overall summary. Going forward to the second verse, it says that Shukadev Goswami is telling to Parishit Maharaj that Krishna and Balaram with him and approached Nanda Maharaj. The two of them embraced Nanda and addressed him as follows. Hmm. So these three verses which the two of them are about to speak, 21 and 22 or 23, are exclusively fitting for sons. They did not speak in any other way to Vasudeva and Devaki, confusing general public. So it means when Krishna and Balram they met and they went to Devaki and Nanda Maharaj. Sorry, yeah, did I say to Nanda Maharaj? Sorry. Uh, they did not speak in any other way to Vasudeva and Devaki, confusing general public. Dev, son of Devaki. Yeah. I'm just trying to refer the verse again. Sorry. This is text 20 actually. Hastabhyam hastayor bad atha nandam samasyadayat Bhagavan Devaki Sutta Sankarshna Jendra Parisvajyata Uchyata. So this is. Second. I'm just referring to. Yes, here it is mentioned. So here it is said eager to victory. It is that um, and what is the verse here? That's interesting. Okay. That is the reason. So here it is said that the three verses which the two of them are about to speak, text number 21 to 23 are exclusively fitting for sons. When we come there, we will go through that. Where mm, yeah. So then they oppose one another by dragging each other about in circles, shoving, crushing, throwing, and etc. So Sridhar Swami is saying means grabbing the other by the hands and making him turn around. Yeah, we may have seen some wrestling uh, matches, or you have seen also in villages when the wrestling competition happens. We can see how one would like to have complete control on the other. So in that spirit, what they do is they'll just almost get as much contact as possible with the person so that he can use his energy and power or strength to actually subdue when the right time comes. So here this is was happening. Um, Here forcibly lifting one another up, carrying on one another, pushing one another away, and holding one another down. The fighters, each wanting victory, hurt their own bodies. Uh, Utthapanam means pressing together the knees and feet of the fallen opponent and picking him up. Hmm. Uh, Unnayanam means lifting the opponent with one's hands and carrying him. Chalanam means pushing away. Hmm. So in this way, they were attacked one another, and to that extent, it is said apachakratoho, even to their own bodies, they were causing harm. Jiva Goswami saying they harmed themselves is stated because even though this was not the case for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the idea is in accordance with Chanur's perception. So Chanur is always thinking, yeah, okay, I could give a strong blow, I could lift him. So this is what it means here. And then the first Um, yeah. So Sridhar Swami is also mentioning they harmed each other and even their own bodies, even though this is not the case of the Lord. Hmm. Still, it is so in accordance with the people who are looking, whoever have come there. That is the reason the ladies they came and formed a group and they were discussing among themselves what an injustice it is. My, all the women present considered the fight an unfair mismatch between the strong and the weak. Sitting in various places around the arena, they express their compassionate anxiety among one another in the following words. For this, bala balavat, bala abala. In this, one side was strong and the other one was weak. They said, in effect, the fight was unfair. Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur is saying the proper logical order of the idea is that they said that the fight was a mismatch of the strong and the weak. On one side, it is it. By the derivations of these various names, we also can deduce that he is the son of Vasudeva and he is that also by parallel inferences. So the detail here goes like all these are hinting towards one. One may think here the topic is about strong and the weak. Who is the strong here? Is Krishna. Yeah. When we know that he is the son of Vasudeva, all the people know Kansa was eagerly waiting or trying in all possible ways to kill this boy who is the son of Vasudeva, who is the only one left who can be his time factor. So that's why, yeah, we can see that he is strong. Having related topics covering the events of several days. Now, on the day following Kamsa's killing, the word Atha is uttered to announce the beginning of another topic's recounting, which is very important and difficult to comprehend. Intimately approaching Nanda, hmm, that is to say, identifying himself as his son. The word Devaki Sutta indicates that he was hiding his self identification as the son of Devaki. Bhagavan implies that he was utilizing his personal opulent potency, which reconciles both. So, anyway, so in a sense, here we can see the gopis. They were quite of disturbed there. Whoever present there, they went and they said they wanted to get the things sorted out. And here there is something very important. Unfair, unfair is one thing, and then after that the woman started saying this is irreligious. What a great irreligious act the members of this royal assembly are committing. When something is unfair, when something is adharmic, yeah, here we see that it's religious and the royal assembly committing is a big thing. As the king watches this fight between the strong and the weak, they also want to see it. Huh? And in the purport, Prabhupada mentions the idea that ladies are expressing is that even if the king somehow wanted to see such unfair match, why should the respectable members of the assembly also desire to see? These feelings are natural. Even nowadays, if in a public place we find a violent fight going on between a very strong, large person and a weaker, smaller person, we are aroused to indignation. Compassionate women are especially offended and enraged by such unfair violence. So, this is something very important. We can see that mm, the ladies of the assembly, they were thinking what is happening, that Kamsa being coming from a royal family and is encouraging such a unfair uh, match. And they even say, what comparison can there be between these two professional wrestlers and who are very strong, the other, on the other side, one Krishna and Balram, who are very very tender, hmm, exceedingly tender limbs. So and they were saying dharma vyatikramo, when religious principle vyatikrama means to violate. Religious principles have certainly been violated in this assembly. One should not remain for even a moment in a place where irreligion is flourishing. This is something very important in our life to understand. Of course, most of the time we are not sure whether are we supporting religion or are we supporting irreligion, and then we ourselves are confused, and then we come up with some analysis, some um, what do you call this, gathering some in opinion from people, and then we come to a point that okay, yes, what we are doing is right, and we start sticking to it. Or sometimes we think okay, in the past instances it was like this, that's why I think we can, what is that, anumana praman, through the means of anuman praman we may decide to do something thinking this is religious. Here, Kamsa was thinking he is religious, and all the one who were supporting him were thinking they are religious. But one who understands this is not right thing, it's not religious act. Here it says one should not remain for even a moment in a place where religion is flourishing. Why? Yeah, because eventually we will start supporting a religion. Eventually we start thinking, oh, what a big thing, if only I am doing it. In the end, I and my Lord, I and my service, I and my and me. So this can tend to um, a approach where one is supporting the whole um, mm, act. Or here what is the word used was, the word used is um, no, it was in the topics. Once again, Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur says, yeah, it's third beginning of another topic, yeah, another act or another activity. So we may see that in a company, in an organization, uh, when the leaders of the organization are not dealing properly, and if of course whatever they would be doing, they will be impacted, just like a company who is running, and if the company is not taking right decisions, is not ethical, and misuses the power, then what happens is eventually such companies will be wiped out. um, why? Because they cannot sustain, because in the end the one that is a religious act is what will be flourished by the mercy of the Lord. Maybe it's a matter of time, but what happens to the company is, but the person who is inside the company, where the leaders are not right, but the person thinks, no, I am religious, I am performing religious activity, let me continue, so that whatever the company can flourish, let the company flourish. What happens in in this case is that, yeah, in the end when the company is doomed, yeah, then everything is doomed. And eventually here it is says from this verse that one who is supporting such a leader, one who is supporting such a king, yeah, is one should leave. This is what it says. One should not remain for even a moment in a place where irreligion is flourishing. The only reason one should stay in such a religious environment is if one really dares to change the people to follow the path of religion. In the case of who's that? In the case of Vibhishan, uh, Vibhishan tried his best so that he can change Ravana, so that yeah, he can take to the path of religion. That didn't work. Then anyway, he was kicked out. But otherwise, also he was not so interested to enjoy the comforts, enjoy the privileges, enjoy the reputation. No, he was anyway. Though he was very dharmic, but he was just trying to help out his brother, help out his king. But that didn't work. So the moment it didn't work, so he decided, okay, let me leave, let me go and serve Lord Ram. We can also see in the case of Vidura, uh, who was, of course, with Dhritarashtra for a very, very long time. All the time he was there so that at least to uphold the religion of the Hastinapur, yeah, the rule. Uh, um, but when the time came, yeah, he understood that he was also kicked out by uh, very harsh words from Duryodhana, and then he left. So eventually, the point here is if one of if one is staying in such a irreligious environment, first of all one should understand that he is in irreligious environment only how by through scriptures, by through sadhus, and by through gurus. By understanding through them, one should understand what is happening is right or wrong. In this case, the ladies are seeing that Krishna Balaram being such tender and Chanur and Mushtik such strong is an obvious. How can this be a match? It is a unfair match. Hmm. So maybe we may not be able to see like that because every person has his own level of sensitivity. One is very sensitive, one is what do you call this, oversensitive or insensitive. Different grades of sensitivity one may see. Here the ladies, what they have compassionate anxiety. Compassionate anxiety is something is one shouldn't see this as weakness. Sometimes when devotees are very concerned about others and out of the compassion when they are worried and suggesting, one may think that hey, why is someone involving so much, why is someone um, mm, advising or sharing opinion proactively, or yeah, one may think. But here these ladies, they are saying out of compassionate anxiety they are thinking what is happening is unfair, and we either we change something or we just move. A wise person should not enter an assembly if he knows the participants there are committing acts of impropriety. When we know that somewhere things which are going are not fair, Mm. one better not to enter it itself. And if having entered such an assembly he fails to speak the truth, speaks falsely or plead ignorance, he will certainly incur sin. So first of all, it's a very dangerous zone to 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 interact with, because just yeah, you enter a crime, what do you call this, crime zone, no, crime locality, not prime locality. You enter in a crime locality and then there is always uh, a chance that you might be affected by it. So when there is a field of what things, yeah, I think if we really see from our heart, we will be able to understand things as is, yeah, because the Lord can help us from within. But sometimes we may not be sure. Then what we do is we approach uh, Guru, to have a clarity of mind, and with that understanding one acts. But if have entered such an assembly, he fails to speak the truth. So if the purpose of being in a enemy's camp, or if one purpose of being yeah, like in the case of Vidura, or in the case of Ravanas, if the purpose is not to speak truth, and if he fails to speak the truth and speaks falsely or pleads ignorance, he will certainly incur sin. So how long can one protect himself when one is not, yeah, is able to have a clarity of mind? It's a matter of time that he would take a irreligious step, and in this irreligious step, one is affected. hmm, And that's what happens in the case of this company. If the company is doomed and closes the board, first impact is anyway to the person, whether he was loyal or religious or irreligious. Directly impact is already there. The second thing is, even if the company is flourishing, wow, every 6 months bonus, every year promotions, there is always a encouragement of growth, one may see. Yeah, what does that mean? A growth on the base of religion, what is the value of it? Hmm? It's all like incurring more and more sin in an exponential way, because yeah, When the company was small, it would have been just small things, yeah. But as the company grows, yeah, because of the one working on irreligious principles, then what happens is the impact is bigger and bigger. And then Valgatah Shatru Abhitaha Krishnasya Vadanambujam. Um, just see the lotus face of Krishna as he darts around his foe. That face, covered with drops of perspiration brought on by the strenuous fight, resemble, resembles a lotus covered with dew. Hmm? So here this fight, yeah, when the ladies they came together and they were discussing, oh, on one side they are seeing what an injustice is going on, and we should really leave from this place. But at the same time they could see, oh, such a tender, just like a lotus, Krishna's face. And kimna pasyata ramasya, and saying, don't you see the face of Lord Balaram, with its eyes copper red from his anger toward Mustika, and its beauty enhanced by his laughter and his absorption in the fight. So, of course, yeah, when there is a street fight that's going on, uh, did it come at some place or it comes later? Yeah, when there is a street fight, some people may gather together and they may see, wow, they think, hey, why are these people fighting? But people still see, oh, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? It is not that the ladies here had the mood. The mood of ladies here was they could see an injustice is going on. What they were attracted or enchanted is still by the beauty of Krishna and Balaram. Yeah, they are not about the activity that was going on, but by the beauty of Krishna and Balaram in such situation. That's what is appreciated. How pious, and then they glorify the gopis. This is so nice. In fact, in fact, um, uh, in this, yeah. Sridhar Swami is saying Bhuprasthe means onto the ground, and Pothyamsa means he made splatter. So what happened here is that, as he depart, one second, I have not yet organized these things properly. Sorry. The consideration is as follows. Yes, this is what we need to read here. The consideration of how to reconcile them is as follows. Even though the devotees headed by Vasudeva possess pure love of Godhead, and it would thus be uniting to neglect them, those headed by Nanda have pure love for which is unequaled and unexcelled, whereby neglecting them would be all means all the more unfitting. So what does that mean here is Krishna's purpose of killing Kamsa or evil persons like Jarasandha and protecting civilized persons must of necessity be carried out. So Krishna, when though he was tender, he might see, hey, one who is a very soft nature. What is that he has? He should support non-violence, right? No, Krishna has come to kill Jarasandha and other people who are and protect the civilized persons, and that is must. In addition, his pastimes in Dwaraka and other locations must be exhibited, such as kidnapping of Rukmini, the stealing of Parijata tree, and associating with the son of Dharma. Uh, his promise to the gopis that he will return to them after seeing the bow sacrifice, I will be coming back, must also be carried out. So many things are there in these few verses. Yeah, the gopis are thinking. And in addition, the nature of the unprecedented love of those gopis, which is revealed by the separation of his remaining away for a long time. Hmm. So we can see all these need to be shown one by one. The Leelas will be anyway revealed. When Parikshit Maharaj is hearing about this, so many questions come, and then Shukadev Goswami reveals all of them. Having all these matters to carry out, Krishna resorted to his personal Yogamaya potency, whose power is to reconcile all necessities, and went with Balaram to their father Nanda. Hmm? So in this way, the two wicked sons, uh, yeah, what verse number? Verse number. 25. Yeah, that is strange. Yeah. So I'm reading the commentaries which are detailing. Yeah. Tatheva Mushtika Purvam. The two sons have killed the wicked people. Yeah. Similarly, Mushtika struck Lord Balaram with his fist and was slain. Receiving violent blow from mighty Lord's palm, the demon trembled all over in great pain, and then died. So I think we read till this part. We actually read till this part, and there is still a lot of philosophical points that the acharyas have mentioned, which need us to have a understanding of the 10th canto in whole, and then we will be able to appreciate this because the different instances from different chapters. Now we are talking still in the 44th chapter, and then there comes the 59th, and also let me see, where is this Jarasandh? Yeah, 72. Yeah. So all these points, 69 is also covered, and then yeah, other different aspects are covered. But all in all, here the gopis are thinking. While they were thinking, so Krishna and Balaram, Krishna decided now let's subdue Chanur, and then he killed. Uh, Chanur was thinking that he is strong because he could give a strong blow on the chest of Krishna, but that was nothing like, it was just compared like a garland hit hitting an elephant. So yeah, in this way we may see that okay, what is the outcome here? So Chanur and Mustik were engaged in the wrestling. Kamsa encouraged that to happen. The people who were seeing were encouraging it to happen. So when this is going on, the environment was what? Favoring. But ultimately, because the Lord was present, nothing can change. Because the Lord establishes dharma. The Lord uh, has simply killed Chanur, Balaram has killed Mustika, and then the others, Shala, Toshala, they came, but they also were killed. And just seeing these people, the other wrestlers who are secondary or whoever, all the gang of wrestlers, they couldn't even come to, because they were already clear when there is their leaders are killed, what is the chance for them to win? So in this way we can appreciate that Krishna and Balaram are super unlimitedly powerful. With their Yoga Maya covered, they did so many wonderful leelas, and they have also killed here the wrestlers in this arena, and then this through Kamsa into great anxiety, or not even anxiety, he that brought him fear that he is now almost sure, unless he some miracle can happen, nothing is going to change. And everyone except Kamsa rejoiced at this wonderful feat Krishna and Balaram had performed. The exalted Brahmanas and great sages, they exclaimed, "Great, excellent, excellent." So the whole arena, the assembly of people were so much jubilant, not because Krishna and Balaram seemingly to be underdogs and they have won. Yeah, it is not that. They also know what it means. They also know what when Krishna and Balaram are going to win, then what will happen if Krishna and Balaram succeed to kill Kamsa. Though it looks very, very um, seemingly very tough, but they know why, because then the unruly ruling of Kamsa will be broken. Yeah, so then there is a hope that true leader, king, take over the throne, and that will change their fate for good. So they were very, very jubilant. And in the last days, when they saw Krishna and Balram walking along the city lanes, and towns, yeah, so they all have seen and have spoken about Krishna and Balaram. They were so much mesmerized and captured by the beauty and mm, qualities, yeah, exhibited by these royal brothers. So when they see the victory, that obviously threw extra jubilation in their heart. Okay, I'll stop here because tomorrow we will cover that part where what happened to Kamsa. Of course, Kamsa was not going to give up. Yeah, Kamsa got up and he took his sword and he tried whatever he can to win over. This is his last chance. This is what happens when the death comes. We want to give our best, and Kamsa tried to give his best. He used all his upadhis. Hmm. He tried to use all his upadhis. He has tricked Krishna Balaram to come to this for the um, uh, what is it called? This bow sacrifice. In the name of bow sacrifice was called so that he can kill uh, Krishna and Balram. Maybe Kamsa was thinking maybe the land of Braja is so magical that he couldn't manage to kill. Let's bring him here, and he tried with his elephant, no fate. He tried with his people, didn't work. He tried with his wrestlers, didn't work. Now he's himself all alone to kill Krishna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When I was telling about Upadhis, Upadhi means, yeah, we may think it's a support system, right? What is my Upadhi is finance. What is my Upadhi is insurance. What is my Upadhi is health. What is my Upadhi is name. What is my Upadhi is social status, family status. All these are designations in English. Yeah, we call it or qualifications or all these are Upadhis. So one is taking support of them to lead a ambitious or desired life. So, and Kamsa had all these upadhis, didn't work. He had his great uh, mm, demons that he sent, didn't work. He had so many kings who were supporting him that didn't work. So he's now all alone. So all these doesn't matter. The last moment, are we taking shelter of the Lord or not? That matters. Here we see what Kamsa is doing tomorrow. Yeah, any thoughts or questions someone may have?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Nand Maharaj was also there in this
Yeah,
assembly.
he was also invited as one of the Vaishya leading Vaishya leader. Yeah, one of the prominent Vaishya leaders because king anyway desired, so he has invited him so that he can come to the assembly. I think this came in the last chapter. I think last chapter or
Mhm.
yeah, in the last chapter 40.
So, how he's feeling during this fight? He also must be very disturbed, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was also.
but
Um,
the last part was wonderful. After killing all the fighters, they danced, and uh, Lord called the friends, and they danced, and yeah, it was very nice.
yeah, yeah. These details are enhanced when I mean, right now we are still reading only Bhagavatam, right? From that we are just getting a glimpse. But if we go into the other further poets who have enhanced the Bhagavatam, what they did is they took this Bhagavatam as an index, right? You know, an index means a reference. And then the poets, because they are also great devotees, what they have done is when they are writing their version of Bhagavatam, and because the Lord also is enabling them to write mm, mm, personally, then what happens is that, as I was mentioning, in Telugu there is this Bhagavatam written by Potana Amatya, and yeah, it was that the Lord Himself, yeah, He came and got Bhagavatam written through him. So just imagine when the Lord Himself is doing this is what Raghunatha, when Lord Ramachandra comes and He Himself has made that Telugu Bhagavatam available. Yeah, on one side we have this Shukadev Goswami's Bhagavatam, Yeah, a devotee who has written, and then there is the Lord Himself is coming to complete, yeah, Bhagavatam. So when we are reading the, it's not just we are acquiring more knowledge about these wonderful pastimes, but we are also getting in contact with such wonderful mm, mm, potence, or blessings that are in those such Bhagavatams, that are compiled by the devotees, or the Lord Himself manifested Leela so that these great works come out. Yeah, which obviously gives us more joys to rejoice, and also mm, interest to appreciate the glories of the Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji. So looking forward to tomorrow's.
Yeah. Somehow, the reference that I have for this from the Acharya's commentaries, I think they are a bit scrambled. So I have to review that, and maybe tomorrow I can go through very briefly for this part, the essence of what the Acharyas have said, and then from there we will continue to cover the remaining part of the chapter. Yeah, sorry for that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean, I'm referring documents which are pretty old, like 19, yeah, pretty old documents. So, yeah, they might be, when these are in English, right? So, they might have some mistakes. Okay. Someone else, any questions or thoughts?
Thanks, Prabhuji. Thanks for the nice recitation as always, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
Prabhuji, one question. Prabhupada wrote this Krishna book, right, Prabhuji, which was the first book in the
Mm-hmm.
West. So it was summary of chapter 10, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 10 to 10.
Bhagavad, Canto 10, sorry, 10 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So the pastimes of the Lord, very
Yeah,
focused. Nice,
yeah.
too.
So, so in that case, just there is this book, Krishna, and there is this one second. I'm just Kamsa sent Akrura. So if you see in that also there are these chapters, and chapter 44 is a prose version of this. If I am sharing the screen, you see this. This is from Krishna book, same chapter number. Chapter 44 is telling about everything like as we would discuss, yeah, as a prose. So of course this is what we are going to read from. We'll cover this in tomorrow's session, where Prabhupada has added so much to give us an understanding. So this is same chapters, yeah, and Krishna, Srila Prabhupada has written this book as the first one and made it available. Yeah, at that time he was not yet sure that the whole Bhagavatam will be available in English, but he had the plans towards that.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think this was the first book, and George Harrison helped in
Publishing.
publishing.
Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you. Next.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, even in this chapter, we can see so much, right? It's not just only the exciting mm, bot with uh, the wrestlers, but we can also see, okay, the mood of the gopis or the women is clear. This is one thing. The second thing is that one shouldn't support a religion. That is second thing. There is also some, yeah, this is the beauty of Bhagavatam, that we just are not interested only to hear the story of the Lord, but also while presenting, we can understand what are the things are for us. That's something. And here they were concerned about King Kamsa dealing like that. Mm. And of course, the position of Kamsa is superior, that they can't overrule him, right? That's why they see, hey, if we can't, then yeah, one should be there to speak truth, or one should leave. This is also a nice, striking message, I would say.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay, then. Yeah, then see you tomorrow. And today is the day one of the 5 days of, the last 5 days of Karthik, and especially Bhishma Panchak. I don't know if someone has plans to fast or follow the vrata. There is guidelines one can do. Important is that, yeah, we try to make best of these 5 days. So if someone is hasn't yet participated till now in the challenge, that's fine. If you are inspired, you can continue, or not to participate. But I would say that just to have a push for self, if a challenge forum can help, why not? Take it up, so that you may then be able to wake up early before the sunrise, chant your rounds before in time, or if you have rounds, extra rounds, you can even do more rounds. If you are offering uh, uh, every element of this five, or of this challenge, you can take it more, add more to it, or add, or at least be able to do these things, and yeah, be blessed. It's not a mandatory program anyway. It's voluntary, but if it can help, yeah, why not? Let's make best of it. Hare Krishna. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण।